All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135 40-pound division, where Brian McIntyre, the trainer of Brian McIntyre, the trainer of Terrence Crawford, that goes by the name of Bo-Mac, speaks out on Gervonta Davis, Shakur Stevenson, and Devin Haney in the lightweight division. And some people are not going to like what he has to say. But since those same people are sure that he's right about everything else, I'm sure you're not going to argue about what he has to say here. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135, 140-pound division, where Brian Bo-Mac McIntyre speaks out on the lightweight division in the lead-in to the Shakur Stevenson versus Edwin De Los Santos fight, which is going to be taking place this Thursday in Las Vegas. Rare treat for me as a boxing fan for a Thursday night fight. Not going to be, there's not dinner night or potential date nights with the wife or events with the family. Thursday night, the work day is over. Going to be able to turn this TV on and be able to see two very good fights. One is Emmanuel Navarrete and Conceição for a title at 130 pounds, followed by the main fight, which is the fight for the vacant WBC belt between Shakur Stevenson and the Dominican challenger Edwin De Los Santos. Should be a lively fight. And Brian Bo-Mac McIntyre gave his impressions of the fight and said, look, man, Edwin De Los Santos is a very live dog. He's going to come to fight, but that's going to work to the benefit of Shakur Stevenson, and the way that he fights is pretty much tailor-made for Shakur, and Shakur going to wear him out, and all of his aggression and all that stuff is going to work against him. So that was pretty straightforward prediction that he had for the fight with Shakur and Edwin, and I can't argue with that. There's a lot of talk about who the best person at 135 pounds is. And look, I'm telling you, the two guys that are at the best at 135 pounds are two of the best fighters in boxing, period. And that is Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis. You also have Devin Haney, who holds 3 belts, who's going to be fighting at 140 on December 9th against Regis Prograis. However, you have to consider him obviously one of the best 135 pounders as well, since he holds 3 of the 4 belts. But when asked, Brian McIntyre gave his opinion about what takes place between Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney if Devin Haney comes back down to 135. And his take was, look, man, the 2 best guys in that division are Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson. And that he believes that, Devin's a very good fighter, but Shakur is going to figure him out, and Shakur is going to beat him. And he didn't act like it was a difficult proposition for him. Now, he said, as far as Gervonta Davis goes, that's a little bit more trouble for Shakur Stevenson. However, he feels like, he's going to do the things that Shakur Stevenson is going to do the things that he needs to do to win. But as far as the strength of his predictions, in my opinion, he was very, very clear, again, that the best 2 fighters in that division are the people that, according to many people, do not hold any titles, right? Shakur, as of this moment, does not hold a title, but more than likely will, or good chance he will, on Thursday evening. Gervonta holds the traditional WBA belt, but there's a WBA super belt that sits above it. So he is clearly rejecting this notion that is often bantied about, which is that because you hold the belts, that means you're the best fighter. Just because you hold the belts doesn't mean that you're the best fighter. If you've not fought those guys, or especially if you do what Devin Haney did and refuse to fight one of those guys by dropping your belt and going up in weight. This does also, though, have ramifications for the person that holds most of the belts at 147 pounds, Terrence Crawford, and a guy by the name of Gervonta Ennis that now holds the IBF title, although he's never defended, and he's never walked in the ring with it, and he's never walked in the ring, out of the ring with it. I use that description because when you win the title, you take it out with you, but he didn't. He got it given to him when he was upgraded from the interim champion to the full champion. At the end of the day, though, in order to know whether this stuff is true or not, these guys need to fight each other. But unfortunately, in boxing, we have a lot of talk from fan bases making excuses as to why fighters can't fight each other, even though they at the same time complain about fighters not fighting each other, which boggles my mind. You have Devin Haney fans making every excuse under the book about why Devin didn't fight Shakur and why he dropped his belt and moved up. Devin wanted too much. Shakur wanted too much money. He only wanted, he took it to a purse bid. If he would have taken it to the purse bid, then the sanctioning body would have decided how much money he got. That's the right of every mandatory challenger. But Devin didn't take the fight and moved up. But Devin Haney fans find a way to say, well, Devin gets whatever Devin wants. That's why the fight didn't happen. It's Shakur's fault, right? Then you have at 147 where Terrence Crawford has a mandatory. He's not available to fight that mandatory. That's 100% fact. He's not available. And because he's not available, the IBF stripped him. However, that does not prevent him from fighting Gervonta Ennis moving forward. But yet, he's very clear that he's not fighting Gervonta Ennis. So if he wasn't going to fight Gervonta Ennis, why in the world would the IBF wait around? So, but you can't, but people want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to, on the one hand, complain about the WBC not stripping Jamal Charlo and demanding that he strip Jamal Charlo, but don't want Terrence Crawford stripped by the IBF. To me, just odd, mind-boggling logic going on. But at the end of the day, man, I hope to see these guys fight. I think that the most realistic fight to take place, though, quite honestly, is the one between Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson. And I don't see an upset happening this weekend that would knock that off. However, if there was, I'm sure there would be a rematch. But Edwin De Los Santos, exciting fighter, beat Joseph Adorno beat Rayo Valenzuela. Good fighter. Look forward to seeing him fight again. Pretty, no matter what happens in the fight. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.